Ros, on the comeback from injury, on the way back from injury problems, how keen are you when you can't play to get out there and try and do your bit and help, and how frustrating is it?
It's pretty frustrating, but I understand it's the role I have to play at the minute. Hopefully it's not for too long, because in training I feel like I've been good. I've been doing extras after training as well, and when on off days, when I'm at home doing extra gym and stuff like that. So I'm feeling pretty good. I think it's just a matter of time.
Is it easier when you're out injured and you can't play, or when you're back to fitness but you're trying to get your way back in the team?
To me, it's pretty much the same, because I feel like when you're injured, it's probably the worst, because you're just watching, knowing that you can't come on, and you just feel helpless.
How do you deal with that? I guess it's a psychological thing as much as a physical thing.
Yeah, well, it's not the first time I've been injured. So I've had worse injuries in my past, so that's kind of helped me a lot. And, talking to people, always talk to people, never like shut off from the world and stuff like that. That really helps.
I've spoken to players in the past who've said that feeling part of it, not being the injured players and the not injured players, kind of all still being in together, is a real help in that respect. And John Coleman was talking to us last week about how he approaches injured players and wants to keep everybody involved. Is there a sense in that changing room that everybody's all part of one bigger thing?
Yeah, 100%. When you're injured, it's like everyone is still on the roughly same schedule, so you never feel left out of the group or whatnot, and everyone still says, comes in the physio room, greets you and stuff like that, the coaches, so it's all good.
The results haven't been what you would have wanted recently. The performances maybe have been slightly different. Is that sort of positivity still present in the changing room at the moment? Are you still feeling relatively optimistic?
Yeah, we always have to keep positive no matter what. I feel like we've been playing well, but the results haven't been going our way. But that's just football, can't really do much. Just have to go out again Saturday. That's the beauty of football. We always have another shot.
There's been so many injuries this season, and obviously you've been one of the players that's been trying to come back to full fitness. A couple of suspensions at the weekend. Do you have to see that as an opportunity for a couple of players to come in and maybe make that difference?
Yeah, 100%. That's football. When you get your chance, you just got to take it. And, when you get your shirt and you're in the starting lineup, you just got to make sure you keep it.
Is there any substitute for playing regularly? I know you're in a position that a lot of players are when they come here, where it's your first taste of kind of week in, week out league football. Once you've had that, does it make you really hungry for more of it?
Yeah, 100%. You always want more and more, and that's just how most footballers are. Never really satisfied, and it's good. It's good.
This weekend, Fleetwood Town, it's a Lancashire derby. It has all the sort of atmosphere that goes along with that. It's an important game, clearly, after losing 4 league games in the row. Do you approach it any differently? Does the manager make you aware of the significance of it being a sort of local rival, or do you have to look at it as another game?
Well, I've always looked at every game the same, go in the same game with the same mentality always. I've had that from young, but when it's a derby, it just gives you that extra push, that you have that little extra edge. So just looking forward to it.
The manager was full of praise for the fans at Peterborough the other night. Just how much of a difference can they make? They only travel in relatively small numbers to the away games, but do you really notice them even in big stadia like that?
Yeah, especially against Peterborough. I was pretty surprised myself, to be fair, with the drums and the singing. It was nice to hear, very nice to hear. So shout out to the fans. We really appreciate you.
How much does that give you a lift? When you're a long way from home, you've had that trip, it might not be going your way, to have those guys and girls making the noise for you?
I mean, you can tell in our performances, the way we played, that our fans had a big part in it. So yeah, that's good.
And there's a connection, I think. We're sat in the bar here where the fans come in for events and after the games and stuff. There's a sense that there's a connection between the players and the fans, because you come into contact with each other quite a lot on a match day and stuff like that. Is that something that is perhaps a little bit different at this club? The fact that people are a bit closer.
It's more like a, how do I say it? I would say family club. It's got that home feeling. Fans are pretty close to you, and some of them might say you need to improve your game, you need to do this and that, but it's all nice. Everyone's very welcoming. Something I really like.
Do you get a bit of feedback from them? Do they sometimes tell you should have done that or you should have done this?
Sometimes, but it's just any bit of advice, I take.
And just finally, you talk about the family club and that sort of dynamic in there. Within the changing room, which players have kind of been important to you? Which players are the ones that you are sort of closest to, and how much do you guys help each other?
Well, I'm close with Mo because I've known him for 4+ years. Being at Newcastle together. Since I came here, I've been really close with Nots. He's helped me a lot. He's kind of played the big brother role with me and a few of the younger lads. I'm, a fan of Sean. Sometimes I might not ask him all the time, but I watch his game like close up, either I'm on the bench or in training. I watch his movements. The way he times his movements is always so perfect. In his control, he knows what to do with the ball before it comes to him, and he's like one of my favourite players here. So I really watch him sometimes. Like, I ask him for advice and whatnot, and he's been very fan of me with that.
It's not my nature to be nice about Sean McConville, but he can be an inspiration, can't he? Because of the number of games he's played, the key role. How much do you sort of aspire to being a key man like that in the team?
I do aspire to be a key man in the team. I feel like in the past I've always been that type of person. So the team always relies on, and it's different here. But I feel like if I keep going the way I'm going, starting more games, performing well, I don't see why that can't be me.
And Michael Nottingham, until this injury, he didn't miss a game ever.
Yeah.
How much of an example is that to young players? Look after yourself, do the right things, all that kind of thing.
I didn't realise that he didn't miss a game until after the season finished. I was reading it up on Twitter, and I was surprised because he's never moaned once, saying, "Oh, my body's this, my body's that." Just gets on with it, and that's very inspiring, especially to the young players that complain about, "Oh, I'm tired. My calves are hurting, my hamstrings hurt," and it's really inspiring, and I hope to take that from him in the future.